comes out. But thank you for coming on this holiday weekend. Mercy Health Stepping Out program, our yoga flow. My name is Michelle, so we can go ahead and get started. Hopefully we'll have music here and we'll get encouragement from Heather's watch. So just sit in a nice comfortable position, whatever feels good for you, and we'll start with our breath. And with every exhale, try to just calm or quiet our mind. Maybe visualizing, releasing a thought, getting rid of a to-do list. Just trying to bring our presence, bring our thoughts to this moment here and now. Pressing both palms together at our heart center, let our chin sink to our chest, and we'll set our intention for our practice today. Think about what you want to get out of your time on the mat. We'll raise our head back up and release our hands down to our mat. We'll begin with that right hand reaching up and over. Start with our side stretches. Release that left elbow towards the earth. Shoulders are on top of each other. We call that stacked. Lengthening the right side. If you can, look up to the ceiling. I miss my sky from Thursday. And using that side, all the side muscles will come back up to center and go to the opposite. So that left arm will reach up and over. Be aware of your sits bones. Make sure they stay anchored to the earth. Back up to center. And we'll walk those hands out in front of us. Again, bending the elbows. And just relax into a forward fold here. Rolling back up to a seated position, we'll switch which leg is in front. Arms out to our sides. Left arm up and over. Up through center. And right arm. through center. Walk those hands out in front of us, bending the elbows gently and surrendering to the earth again. Rolling up to center. Go ahead and straighten those legs out in front of us into a staff pose. Flex those feet up. Back is nice and straight, shoulders are relaxed. And we'll fold forward gently as we relax the feet now. With each breath, try to relax a little bit more, just letting go. Letting nature take over, the gravity just pulling you as far as you should go. No forcing. Roll up to a seated position and we'll pull the right leg in and let it cross over as we go into a spinal twist. That left arm will hug the knee in, looking over our right shoulder. Release the bind, and we're going to take that foot with our hand and see if we can straighten the leg out in front of us. Maybe you have to support it down a little bit lower, which is fine, or if you can walk those hands out towards the ankle or maybe even the foot. Try to keep that back up as straight as you can. You'll be tempted to roll back onto your tailbone here. Try to keep up as tall as you were when you were seated, flexing those toes in our staff pose. And we're gonna release the leg all the way down and fold forward. Rolling up to our seated position, left leg comes in this time, crosses over the right. Hug it in with our right arm, and we'll look over that left shoulder. Release the bind, and once again, we'll take our foot in our hands and try to straighten that leg out. Keep sitting up nice and tall. See how far up our leg, our hands can go. And release all the way down. We'll pull our feet in together, bringing the soles of the feet together into our cobbler pose, gently bouncing the knees. We're going to bring our fingertips up to our shoulders. So as we do this, our back is going to want to be a little bit wonky here because we typically support ourselves by holding on a little bit. So we need to make sure we keep our back strong. And we're gonna just gently go into our twist here. And we'll come onto our all fours, swinging those legs underneath us. Check our position, so knees should be in line with the hips. Knees should also be hip distance apart. Wrists are in line with the shoulders, and make sure that also shoulder distance apart. Fingers are spread wide. And let's go ahead and just make gentle circles here with our whole body. Warming up our wrists. A little bit more with our hips and knees. And go in the opposite direction. Pull in our core. So always try to think about that. That'll help stabilize you, our balance, and it protects our spine. All right, we'll come back to our neutral and we'll go into cat-cow breathing. If you're familiar, please feel free to begin. For cow, we inhale, breathing deeply in, and we drop our belly, opening our chest, look forward. As we exhale, we're going into our cat pose. So we tuck in our tailbone, our chin, arch that back up like you're a scared cat. And back into our inhale, cow. And just gently flow back and forth between the two postures at the pace that feels comfortable with your breath. Spending time where your body needs you to. We'll finish one more set and then meet in a neutral spine. Now keeping knees anchored, we're gonna lift just the foot of that right leg. And we're gonna swing the foot out and look over our right shoulder, see if you can find it. And then swing it back through, look over our left shoulder, and just gently go back and forth between the two. This is wagging the tail. As you do this, feel our obliques crunch and expand. So don't go too fast, you don't want to hurt your back. And one last one, and release the right foot down, and we'll repeat this on our left side. So lift that left foot out over the left shoulder, and look over the right, and continue. And release. Go ahead and let the toes touch. Widen the knees as wide as our mat. Let the hips sink back to the heels and stretch those hands out in front of us. Foreheads will sink to the mat. If you find this uncomfortable today, you can go ahead and see how it feels if you bring your hands in and support your head. Whichever feels better. Rolling up through our tabletop, we're going to lay all the way through to our belly. Slide the hands so that they're in line with our shoulders, pressing the elbows in. We're going to push up to a cobra. So our hands are pressing our chest up. See what feels good as far as how high you go. And then we look forward. Those elbows stay pressing in and the shoulders are stay pressing down. And we exhale back down to the mat. Inhale back up. Really concentrate on how long your spine is. If you feel your spine starting to collapse, go ahead and lower a little bit. And exhale down. And let's walk our hands a little bit off of our mat. So we have a wide stance here. And we're going to inhale up. And exhale back down. Bringing the hands back. We're going to press back through our tabletop. Tuck those toes and press into downward facing dog. We can walk our heels out here. So first we're wagging our tail, now we're taking our dogs for a walk. Our eyes stay looking in between our feet. And that'll keep our head in alignment with our arms. As we find our stillness, we'll tilt that pelvis forward. And we press our heels towards the mat. Our legs will start naturally straightening out. Pull the tummy in. And with gentle legs, we're going to walk our feet up to our hands into a forward fold. Keep those knees bent gently. We're going to rest our chest on our thighs and just hang out for a moment. If it feels good, you can grasp opposite elbows with your hands and really hang out. Let that upper body just go like a rag doll. And release the arms. We're going to start slowly rolling up to our mountain pose. Think about one vertebrae at a time. Upper body stays loose until it comes straight. Our head is the last thing to come up. Make sure our tailbone is tucked under. We have equal weight on all four corners of that foot. So maybe rock it side to side. Back and front. Activate those thigh muscles, so feel them tightening up and they lift up off of the knees. Make sure that core is engaged, so you're pulling those muscles in tight. Our shoulders are pressed down and back. And as we tuck that chin in, we pull the head back so that our spine is in alignment. Tadasana, or mountain pose. As we inhale deeply, oh, that always feels so good on my ankles. We come all the way up, and then we're going to gently fold forward into our, all the way down to the earth here. Inhaling, we're going to come halfway up to our flat back. So the hands can stay on the earth. Our shins, our thighs, whatever makes you feel like you have that nice length coming from your neck. You do what your body needs you to do there. And as we exhale, we'll forward fold once again. Planting your hands, you're going to step back to a downward facing dog. Exhale the hips down. Now if a plank is in your practice, we're going to go to a plank. If you want to lower to a half plank, we can start with that. And then we're going to lower all the way down to your mat. Inhale, we're going to press up to a cobra, looking forward. Exhale back down to your mat. And then you'll press through your starting pose. So if you did your plank or a half plank, and then you're going to press all the way up to downward facing dog.
Bending both knees deeply, look to the top of your mat, make your way there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to that flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. We're gonna stand all the way up and then bring those hands to our heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back to a downward facing dog with the opposite foot first. Lower to your plank. Lower to your mat. We're going to press up to that cobra with an inhale. Exhale back down to your mat. Pressing through your plank. Lift those hips up. Downward facing dog. Bend both knees deeply. Look to the top of your mat and make your way there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. And we'll bring our hands to our heart center. All right, here we go. So we're going to inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to your downward facing dog. Shifting your weight to your left foot, we're going to raise that right foot into a three-legged dog. Our hips stay square to the mat. Foot stays flexed. Try to imagine a straight line from the heel of your hand to the heel of your foot. You're going to pull that knee into your chest. Think of that cat pose as we arch our back up. And then you're going to swing the foot all the way through to a low lunge. Check the alignment of your knee to your ankle. So if you need to give it a little bit of an adjustment here, you don't want that knee in front of the ankle. That's the big thing here. And we stay light on our hands so we can look forward. And we're going to drop the back knee, and we're going to lift up into our crescent. Hands will come up, and look to the top. As we come back down to the earth, both hands will plant. We're going to shift this back leg here, the anchor leg, the left leg, so that we can come up into, we call it a low warrior two. Both hands are going to come up, and we're going to do a side stretch to the right and up. 2 and up. 3, 4, and 5. Let that left hand come to the earth, and the right hand will reach all the way over. Using that side muscle once again, come back up to our warrior two. And we're going to shift our weight back to the front, so pivot that knee once again. Left hand plants, right hand up. Spinal twist. Right hand comes down. We're going to lift the back knee, so tuck those toes to lift the back knee back to your low lunge. And we'll bring the right foot back to the left, downward facing dog. Shifting our weight to our right foot, left foot raises, three-legged dog. Knee to chest as we swing that foot through, once again to a low lunge.
look forward as we drop that back knee and lift up to a crescent lunge. Arms up if that feels good. And maybe even look up towards the hands. And head back to center. Hands will come back to the earth as we pivot the back leg. And we'll come up to our low warrior two. Both hands will come behind our head. And we'll lean towards that front. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right hand down to the earth. Left hand reaches over. Gate pose. Using that side muscle, pull us back up to a warrior two. Pivot to the front. Right hand plants. Left hand reaches up for a spinal twist. Left hand comes back down. Lift the right knee, low lunge. Left foot comes back to meet the right, downward facing dog. You have the option to stay in downward dog and we'll meet you there, or you can add a little vinyasa flow here, lowering your hips to a plank, lower to your mat. Inhale up to your cobra. Exhale back down. Pressing through your plank. Lift those hips back up. Downward facing dog. Bend both knees deeply. Look to the top of your mat and make your way there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. And we'll bring our hands to our heart center. Always do our clothing adjustment every time we stand up. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to your downward facing dog. Shift your weight to your left foot, right foot raises, three-legged dog. Knee to chest as we swing the foot through. We're going to a warrior two, so keep that in mind. That right foot comes through. We're gonna rotate that back foot as we cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. We'll bring both hands, once again, back behind our head. So our hips are now facing the long side of our mat in our warrior two. We're watching that front knee to make sure that it doesn't roll in. And we're once again going to do our side bend here. Imagine you're in between two walls, so you don't want to twist at all. You want to try to keep that stacked shoulder we work on all the time. So as we go to the right, and up. Do 5 of them. We'll open those arms up. Left hand will come down, right hand up into a reverse warrior. Cartwheel both hands down to a low lunge. Left hand stays planted, right hand up, spinal twist. Right hand comes down, bring that right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog.
Shift our weight to the right foot. Left foot raises, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, swinging the foot all the way through. Pivot the back foot. Warrior two. Hands behind our head. And once again, lean those elbows towards that front thigh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opening up our arms. Reverse warrior. Right hand down, left hand up to the sky. Cartwheel both arms down. Right hand stays planted in our low lunge. Left hand comes up, spinal twist. Left hand comes down. Bring that left foot back. Downward facing dog. Again, you can stay here and wait, or do the vinyasa flow. Lower those hips. Exhale down to your mat. Pressing up into your cobra or an up dog, pressing through your plank into downward facing dog. Bend both knees deeply, look to the top of your mat and make your way there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. And we'll bring our hands to our heart center. Breathe. We're going to take a big step wide. We can start out with our star. So our hands are wide. And we'll go into a goddess squat initially. So watch those knees going over the toes. So our knees are nice and wide. Upper body is tall. Arms come down into our cactus pose. We're gonna bring those hands behind our head. And now we get to go side to side. So we'll go all the way through. So right, all the way through to left. And 2. And 3. 4. And 5. And reach up. Ooh. Hands come to our sides. We can pivot the toes so they're now front. And we're going to do a forward fold. Bring the hands down in front of our face. That right hand will stay, left hand reaches up. Spinal twist. Left hand down. Bring the right hand up.
Miss Terry, can you be at the bistro?
Bring that right hand down. We'll heel toe the feet in a little bit. And we're gonna go ahead into a full yoga squat. So we lower our hips. Like I said, position your feet the way you need to. Make sure they're wide enough so that you can try to have your heels planted. Elbows are pressing into your knees. Palms are touching, and you're trying to lift up. So don't just sink into it. We want to try to stay active. Both hands, so we can lower down to our mat.
let's once again bring our hands, fingertips up to our shoulders, and we'll go into our twist. And slowing it down, we'll open those arms wide. Draw the right arm across, gently pulling it with the left. Open wide, left hand across. Open wide. Go ahead and interlace the fingers, and we're going to roll those wrists a little bit. And with the fingers interlaced, we'll press those palms out in front of us. Press the palms up. And as we release them, we'll bring them back behind us. And move to the sides. And we're going to shift our weight to the back and bring our legs in front of us. We're going to go into our boat pose. There's no way my legs are going straight, Heather, just saying. They're already shaking. So with boat, just try to find that sweet spot where you have your balance. If you need to keep one leg down at a time, that's fine. If you can get them both up. And then if you can add the arms, that would be amazing. And if you can straighten the legs, look at Mary go now. Woo. And Nancy, you guys are all doing it. I'm a big wimp. Okay, I'll try. All right, guilted into harder work. Good job, guys. Thank you. All right, we'll bring it down. And we'll straighten those legs. Whew, I didn't think I could do that. You guys make me a better person. And we'll roll down to our mat. Oh, I even lifted my feet. Oh, man. I have to do it again. I can't even give up. Oh. Let me try again. That was better. All right. And we'll bend that left leg in, plant that left foot. We'll lift the right leg up to the sky. Rotate our ankles. And go in both directions. And we're gonna let that do giant circles with our leg here. So our arms could be out in a T to our sides. And we're gonna start by letting that leg come all the way out to the right, circle down so it's straight out from us, and then it goes back up to the sky. And we'll do 5 in this direction. And remember, the challenge is you can straighten that base leg. Once you've done your 5, go in the opposite direction. Now with that leg straight up in the air, we can bring the left leg up to it. Cradle your head with your hands so both arms come up behind you here. And imagine you have that piece of fruit under your neck, and we'll do 10 crunches here. So do them at your own pace.
pull your knees in for a moment here. Give it a little rock side to side. And we can plant that right leg down. Lift the left foot up to the sky. Hands out to your T. And it'll be your choice whether to keep that right leg bent or if you want to straighten it. But the left leg's going to start by going out and around. Make sure I'm not kicking anything. 5 in each direction. Finished, walk both feet in so both knees are bent. And heel toe the feet as wide as your mat. Let your knees fall together. And your left hand will come to your heart. Your right hand will come to your tummy. And take some big cleansing breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Go ahead and feel your body start to relax with each breath. Try to just surrender a little bit. We'll heel toe the feet together and then let our knees open up to a reclining frog. And those arms are going to open up to a cactus pose. As your breathing gets closer to normal, you'll feel less breath in your chest, less in your ribs, and more returning just to that abdomen. As you inhale, you'll feel it naturally raising, and as you exhale, naturally falling, without the effort that it takes when we're sitting. Nature finds a way of just taking over and doing what it's supposed to do. Let's go ahead and straighten the arms back out to a T, and we'll let that right knee come all the way up and over to meet the left, keeping both shoulders anchored still. We'll look over that right shoulder, and we're in a nice little supine spinal twist. If you need it to be deeper, if you want more of a stretch, you can straighten the left leg and pull the right leg over deeper, or just let it be gentle this time. Bringing the head back up to center, we'll let that right knee come all the way through center and open up again into our frog. And then we'll bring the left knee all the way over. And look over the left shoulder. Head comes up. And we'll bring first the left knee and then let the right knee meet it. Both arms will come down alongside our body. Walk those feet up as close as we can to those sits bones. And we'll begin by lifting our pelvis and slowly peeling up one vertebrae at a time from the mat, coming into a supported bridge. Roll back down, one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. And we're going to go into the Shavasana portion of the practice. So if you want to bring in any props here, now's the time to do that. And then you can go ahead and get into the position that feels comfortable for you as we lower our legs one at a time. Shavasana is the final portion of the practice. So after we do our body scan, if you have the time, go ahead and give yourself 2 or 3 minutes where you just stay in the peace and quiet and enjoy the most important part and the most difficult part of the yoga practice. As we go into the body scan, we start by relaxing the toes. And feel that relaxation travel through the foot. Into the calf. Breathe, release into the thighs. With every exhale, feel yourself growing heavier and melting into your mat. Release the hands, letting the fingers curl. Relax the arms. Breathe relaxation into the shoulders and the neck, releasing our tension. Let go of our jaw. And try to release the muscles in the face. Feeling any of our tension just leaving out of the crown of our head.